From horrific resale crashes to sudden battery lockouts, buying into these flawed crossovers is a guaranteed way to waste your hard-earned money. In this video, we see 9 electric SUVs that make paying full price a complete mistake. Number 9. Genesis GV60. The Genesis GV60 dazzles on the showroom floor with its stunning design, upscale cabin, and genuine luxury feel, which is exactly how it lures in buyers who don't do their homework. Beneath that beautiful exterior lies a reliability record that makes purchasing one a genuinely questionable decision. Consumer Reports found the GV60 much less reliable than other cars from its model year, a damning verdict for a vehicle commanding a premium price. The smart move is to look past the styling and examine the ownership reality. The GV60 has been recalled multiple times for issues ranging from seatbelts to the rear drive shaft, and owners have documented a troubling array of faults. Most alarming is the widely discussed ICCU failure, a known weak point across Hyundai Group EVs that can cause charging failures and even leave the vehicle stranded, unable to charge. Paying luxury money for an SUV that might refuse to charge is precisely the kind of gamble only an uninformed buyer takes. Making matters worse, owners report that parts are scarce and repair expertise is hard to find, meaning that when the GV60 breaks, fixing it becomes a prolonged, expensive ordeal. One long-term owner cataloged 10 separate problems over 3 years, describing faults Genesis either couldn't or wouldn't fix. Complaints about steep repair and maintenance costs pile on further pain. The GV60 also suffers from limited dealer availability and brutal depreciation, meaning buyers lose money fast on a car that's difficult to service. When you combine charging faults, multiple recalls, scarce parts, and below-average reliability, buying a GV60 over more dependable rivals reflects a decision driven by looks rather than sense, making it a classic trap for the unwary shopper. Number 8. Volkswagen ID.4. The Volkswagen ID.4 markets itself as the sensible, affordable people's electric SUV, and that reasonable image is exactly what fools less savvy buyers into overlooking its genuinely alarming track record. Anyone who researches properly quickly discovers that the ID.4 has been a reliability and safety nightmare, making it a purchase that informed shoppers actively avoid. The problems start with serious safety defects that go far beyond mere inconvenience. The ID.4 was hit with a stop-sale order over faulty door handles that could allow doors to open unexpectedly, plus a recall of tens of thousands of vehicles over a high-voltage battery overheating and fire risk. Buying an SUV associated with fire risk and doors popping open, when safer alternatives sit right beside it on the lot, is exactly the kind of decision a careful buyer would never make. The dangers alone should be disqualifying. Beyond the frightening recalls, the ID.4 has been plagued by chronic software instability that owners describe as maddening, with infotainment screens freezing or blacking out, unresponsive touch controls, and buggy updates. One long-term owner lamented an unreal number of recalls and issues on a car with barely 35,000 miles, an experience no informed buyer would knowingly sign up for. Its infamous capacitive touch controls and clumsy interface have drawn years of criticism for being distracting and unintuitive, turning simple tasks into daily aggravations. When a mainstream electric SUV combines serious safety recalls, persistent software gremlins, and an interface owners actively dislike, choosing it over the many dependable, safer rivals available reflects a failure to do basic research. The ID.4 remains a cautionary tale, and only buyers who skip their homework end up stuck with its documented headaches and repeated trips to the dealer. Number 7. Kia EV9. The Kia EV9 arrived to glowing reviews as a spacious, handsome 3-row family electric SUV, and that wave of early hype is precisely what draws in buyers who don't dig into the reliability data before signing. Anyone who checks the facts finds a very different picture, because Consumer Reports placed the EV9 among the least reliable cars of 2026, A stunning reversal that turns this acclaimed SUV into a risky proposition. The EV9's troubles are wide-ranging and serious. Owners have reported issues spanning the EV battery, including replacement needs, charging problems, body hardware, electrical accessories, and in-car electronics. A genuinely broad spread of faults pointing to deep quality concerns rather than isolated glitches. The vehicle has also been hit with multiple recalls, including one covering nearly 23,000 examples over missing seat bolts in the second and third rows that posed real safety risks, plus additional electrical safety recalls. Buying a family SUV recalled over missing seat bolts when safer options exist is exactly the mistake an informed shopper avoids. Software has been a particular sore point, with owners reporting black screens, audio cutouts, and CarPlay connectivity failures after updates, alongside a recall tied to instrument panel display failures. One owner described a dealership struggling for nearly 3 months to fix their vehicle, repeatedly receiving the wrong parts, the kind of prolonged repair ordeal that no smart buyer would tolerate. When a highly praised family SUV generates that volume of battery, electrical, and software complaints, plus multiple safety recalls and drawn-out repairs, choosing it based on the early hype alone reflects a failure to look past the marketing. The EV9 proves that glowing first impressions mean nothing without dependability, making it a trap for buyers who don't do their research. Number 6. Honda Prologue. The Honda Prologue trades entirely on the Honda badge, a name synonymous with bulletproof reliability, and that borrowed reputation is exactly what deceives buyers who assume the emblem guarantees quality. Anyone who actually investigates discovers a shocking truth, because Consumer Reports placed the Prologue among the very least reliable cars of 2026 with a dismal reliability score, a ranking that shatters the assumptions buyers make about the brand. The reason for the collapse is that the Prologue isn't truly a Honda at all, but a rebadged product built on General Motors underpinnings, inheriting the flaws that plagued its GM-based siblings. Buyers who purchase it expecting classic Honda dependability are in effect being fooled by a badge, which is precisely the trap uninformed shoppers fall into. The reality beneath the emblem is far less reassuring. Owners have documented an alarming catalog of problems, including brake assist failures, complete brake system failures, all-wheel drive failures, stability control warnings, and dashboards lighting up with multiple warning lights. The severity is genuinely concerning, with one owner's front axle breaking and causing all the transmission fluid to leak out on a brand new vehicle. Others reported sunroofs that won't close and unnerving braking behavior with sudden, unexpected stops that make the car feel unfinished. Frustrated owners have flooded forums openly warning others to beware, with many expressing serious second thoughts within months of purchase. When a car wearing the world's most reliability-focused badge generates that volume of alarming complaints and earns a bottom-tier reliability score, buying it on faith in the Honda name alone reflects a failure to check the actual data. The Prologue proves a badge means nothing without the engineering to back it, making it a costly trap for buyers who don't look beyond the logo. Number 5. Audi Q6 e-tron. The Audi Q6 e-tron carries the prestige of a fresh, high-profile platform meant to showcase Audi's electric future. And that shiny newness combined with the 4-ring badge is exactly what seduces buyers who don't investigate before purchasing. The informed reality is far less flattering, because Consumer Reports flagged the Q6 e-tron among the least reliable EVs of 2026, a damning verdict for a vehicle buyers expected to represent Audi's best effort yet. Anyone who researches finds a troubling pattern of problems. Owners have reported a frustrating array of software and electrical glitches from early in ownership, with common complaints centering on the MMI infotainment system glitching and refusing to connect to Apple CarPlay, requiring hard resets. Others have documented trouble getting the plug-and-charge feature to work and audio glitches affecting the radio and media, the kinds of nagging faults that turn everyday driving into aggravation. The Q6 e-tron has also been subject to multiple recalls, reinforcing that it reached customers before being fully sorted. Owner reviews have been pointed, citing technology, reliability, and manufacturing quality among the chief complaints, with one describing the car as having a lot of potential but not fully baked. Buying a not fully baked luxury SUV at a premium price, when more polished rivals exist, is exactly the decision a careful shopper avoids. Even a 7-month owner cataloged faults that fell short of the standard expected from a premium Audi. To make matters worse, the Q6 e-tron has suffered a catastrophic sales collapse in America, hammering resale values and leaving buyers exposed to steep depreciation. When a flagship new electric SUV combines recurring glitches, repeated recalls, and crumbling resale, choosing it over proven alternatives reflects a purchase driven by badge and novelty rather than sense. Number 4. Chevrolet Blazer EV. The Chevrolet Blazer EV wins buyers over with bold styling, an appealing spec sheet boasting strong range and an affordable price, and that surface appeal is exactly what traps shoppers who don't look into its disastrous quality history. The informed truth is jarring, because the Blazer EV's reliability troubles were so severe that General Motors was forced to halt sales of the vehicle entirely, an extraordinary admission that the car was too broken to keep selling. Anyone aware of that stop sale would think twice before buying. The software problems that triggered the halt were genuinely severe. Owners experienced intermittent failures of the in-vehicle screens, and one long-term test vehicle threw a devastating 23 fault codes at once, including an issue related to DC fast charging that struck at the very heart of the car's usability as an EV. When the system needed to charge the vehicle malfunctions, the SUV becomes fundamentally unreliable, and early buyers effectively served as unpaid beta testers. Beyond the stop sale, owners complained about persistent connectivity frustrations, including phone integration that repeatedly disconnected during even short drives, adding daily aggravation atop the serious faults. The Blazer EV required a major software update to address its problems, and used market shoppers now openly question whether it remains a software problem child. Compounding everything, the Blazer EV has become a slow-selling lot-sitter requiring hefty discounts, which signals weak demand and poor resale prospects. When a mainstream electric SUV generates enough serious failures to warrant a complete sales halt, a barrage of fault codes and lingering software doubts, choosing it based on styling and specs alone reflects a failure to research. Only buyers who ignore the glaring warning signs end up with the Blazer EV's documented headaches. Number 3. Cadillac Lyriq. The Cadillac Lyriq seduces buyers with striking, head-turning design and genuine luxury appointments, and that undeniable curb appeal is exactly what blinds shoppers to the serious reliability nightmares lurking underneath. The informed reality is alarming, because the Lyriq's software troubles have been severe enough to leave owners repeatedly stranded, a fact no careful buyer would overlook. Anyone who researches finds cautionary tales that should give real pause. The most shocking reports involve the vehicle completely bricking, with one exasperated owner describing how their Lyriq had totally bricked 7 separate times, leaving them stranded and questioning their decision while still early into their lease. Buying a luxury SUV that repeatedly renders itself undrivable, when dependable rivals exist, is precisely the kind of mistake an informed shopper avoids. The catalog of software troubles is extensive, with owners documenting infotainment freezes, driver assistance systems deactivating unexpectedly, and even unexpected powertrain shutdowns. Those aren't minor annoyances but serious malfunctions affecting the fundamental drivability and safety of the vehicle. Compounding the technical woes, owners have voiced frustration with GM's support and service experience, describing difficulty getting problems resolved promptly, which turns each malfunction into a prolonged headache. When the car keeps failing and the support system struggles to keep pace, ownership becomes a cycle of frustration and repeated repair visits. Even owners who appreciate the Lyriq's design acknowledge a mounting list of disappointments that temper their enthusiasm. When a Cadillac bricks repeatedly and leaves owners battling both the car and the dealer, choosing it purely for its looks reflects a decision made with the eyes rather than the head. The lyric proves that stunning design counts for nothing when the SUV can't reliably start, making it a trap for buyers dazzled by appearances. Number 2. Fisker Ocean. The Fisker Ocean tempts buyers with striking looks, a feature-packed spec sheet, and the romantic appeal of an ambitious startup promising to shake up the industry, and that seductive story is exactly what lures in shoppers who ignore the catastrophic red flags. The informed truth is genuinely staggering because the Ocean stands as perhaps the ultimate example of an EV that no rational buyer should touch. Anyone who researches finds a horror story rather than a car. The scale of its problems is shocking, with the Ocean accumulating hundreds of NHTSA complaints across its early model years, along with reported crashes, fires, injuries, and 6 federal recalls. The Ocean was bedeviled by software bugs from the very day it went on sale, and even professionally maintained test cars suffered a relentless stream of glitches, earning the vehicle a reputation for dangerous gremlins that made everyday driving unpredictable. Buying a car this riddled with faults when countless dependable options exist is the definition of a poorly researched decision. The situation grew catastrophically worse when Fisker itself went bankrupt, leaving owners stranded with vehicles from a company that no longer existed to support them. That collapse meant vanishing parts availability, unsupported software, and no clear path for repairs, and some owners reported their vehicles becoming bricked and unusable. Purchasing an SUV from a defunct automaker with no support network is arguably the single least sensible car buying decision imaginable. When a vehicle combines rampant software failures, serious safety recalls, and a manufacturer that folded entirely, only a buyer who did zero homework would end up owning one. The Ocean is the ultimate proof that a beautiful design and bold promises mean nothing without reliability and lasting support, making it a purchase almost no informed person would make. Number 1. Audi Q8 e-tron. The Audi Q8 e-tron tops this list by trading on the full weight of Audi's luxury prestige, tempting buyers with a premium badge, a plush cabin, and flagship-level positioning that convinces less savvy shoppers they're making a safe, sophisticated choice. The informed reality is far harsher, because the Q8 e-tron combines serious quality problems, disappointing performance, and financially ruinous ownership economics that make buying one a genuinely poor decision. Anyone who researches quickly sees why. On the quality front, the Q8 e-tron has suffered documented mechanical faults, with owners reporting motor seal issues appearing on brand-new examples with barely 100 miles on the odometer, along with main display cluster failures that leave drivers unable to see critical information and sunroof leaks that shouldn't afflict any luxury vehicle. Paying premium money for an SUV with powertrain faults fresh from the factory is exactly the gamble a careful buyer avoids. Range disappointment adds insult to injury, with owners reporting real-world figures falling well short of expectations, leaving them unable to travel the distances they anticipated from an expensive electric SUV. Compounding everything, the Q8 e-tron is aging technology in a rapidly advancing segment, meaning buyers pay flagship money for a platform that increasingly trails newer rivals in efficiency and refinement. The financial picture is the true killer, because the Q8 e-tron has become one of the worst-selling EVs in America, and that collapsing demand translates into brutal depreciation that torches an owner's investment almost immediately. Buying a car that loses value this fast, breaks in expensive ways, and underdelivers on range reflects a decision driven entirely by the badge rather than any rational analysis. The Q8 e-tron proves that luxury prestige means nothing when the fundamentals fail, making it the SUV only the most uninformed buyers end up regretting. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.